couple of weeks ago, Bobby Kennedy, scion of the most storied dynasty in Democratic Party history, dropped out of the presidential race and threw his support not to the Democrat, but to Trump. And everyone all at once said the same thing. Bobby Kennedy did something weird? I also think he's weird. I couldn't support him for president. His wife is Cheryl Hines, who Larry David was quoted as describing as the best person I've ever met, the one person in Hollywood who doesn't have a single enemy. Well, now she does. Because she didn't throw her husband under the bus when her husband made a decision about something which she's made plain she disagrees with, but that didn't satisfy the obnoxious posers on the aforementioned far left. Thousands tweet screamed at Cheryl things like, "How do you live with yourself? Do better. I can't even enjoy the episodes of Curb Your Enthusiasm with you in them anymore. It's no wonder Larry divorced you." Yeah, that's a character on TV, but okay. The tweet that got the most attention was from actor Bradley Whitford, who wrote, "Hey, Cheryl Hines, way to stay silent while your lunatic husband throws his support behind the adjudicated rapist who brags about stripping women of their fundamental rights. Gutsy. Great example for the kids, profiling courage." Yeah, well, you know what I think is not gutsy? Mansplaining to a woman, but of course not to her face. How she should sacrifice her marriage. Also, you could read something on Twitter that met with your approval. You want to know why I have a bug about the left more than I used to? This. There's an ugliness they never used to have. The liberals I grew up respecting, none of them are like this. Going after the wife, even the mafia doesn't do that. There's a lot of people these days who I call liberals in theory. In theory, they hate bullying. Terrible. In practice, their attitude is, it's not bullying when I stick your head in the toilet. In theory, liberals are compassionate. In practice, this guy can't even understand one of the most basic dilemmas common to all humans, that when you're married, do things you don't want to do. Do things you don't want to do, like, I don't know, have children. I've never even been married, and I know this, that it's a delicate dance. It's a delicate dance, and you're not going to love everything your spouse says and does. But I promise you, no couples counselor has ever said, "Have you tried screaming at each other?" And that is what is so galling about this. It's exactly what Barack Obama had just told the Democrats at their convention not to do.
Our politics have become so polarized these days that all of us across the political spectrum seem so quick to assume the worst in others. Unless they agree with us on every single issue, we start thinking that the only way to win is to scold and shame and out-yell the other side.
Bradley, did you go to the bathroom or something when that came on? Because it's almost like he was talking to you directly, like by name. Don't scold, don't shame, don't out-yell. Clinton had the same message. I urge you to meet people where they are. I urge you not to demean them. Treat them with respect. And that's the thing. The actual politicians of the Democratic Party are generally a pretty sane crop of people. The Democratic politicians are not the ones calling to defend the police and other goofy stuff. But the kind of people who are always howling on social media, yeah, that's who gives a lot of people the ick when they hear liberal. And you know what? I used to know Bradley a little bit. He wasn't this guy. And while he may relish writing Cheryl Hines off, I'm not writing him off. Because that's not the way to handle this.